glad you could join me tonight. Do you have enough blankie? I know it's kind of cold. Yeah. There you go. I'm so excited for our sleepover. Well, I thought now that we're all ready for bed and cozy, maybe we could read a couple chapters of the Bible before bed. Awesome. So I have been reading from 2 different books every night lately. I have been trying to read through the whole Bible, and right now I'm in Leviticus. So Leviticus is the first book that I want to read from, but Leviticus can be challenging to read at times with all the laws about things from a different time. It can be hard to get through. So I also read a psalm, and that's just what I've been doing lately. Is there anything in particular that you would like to read, or it works? Okay. Well, this chapter of Leviticus is one of my favorites. It's about the feasts. Chapter 23. So, feasts of the Lord. Also, sorry if it's a bit noisy. My dad, for some reason, decided to watch a movie in the middle of the night. But what can you do, right? Chapter 23. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, the feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, these are my feasts. The Sabbath. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is a Sabbath of solemn rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work on it. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings." I admit, that one, I've been thinking a lot about the Sabbath these last few months, because, as you know, I'm not very good at resting, and I like to always be doing something, always be being productive. So the last few months I've been trying to be more intentional about taking a day, usually Saturday, to just rest and not do any work and not feel any pressure to be productive. And it is really nice when I get to do that. Like this last weekend on Saturday, I decided, I have it in my notes where I plan out what I'm gonna do on different days. On Saturday, I had put Sabbath next to it to remind me to just take it easy. And my boyfriend came over, and we did we did some cooking, which normally is a lot of work for me, but with him it's fun. So we made a nice dinner, and we decorated some aprons that I got from Michael's, and we made apple pie, which was so good. We made apple pie, and we watched Arcane, and we just kind of hung out, and we slept in till noon. It was glorious. And it was really nice to just be and to not worry about things that needed to get done. So I'm trying to do more of that, which is hard because during the week, obviously, you work, but then I always want to do like fun stuff on the weekends and go places and do things, which is great, and it's like a form of rest, but it's also still work. Like if you go on a trip, you have to make sure you have enough food, and you have to pack, and you have to know where you're going and work out the logistics, and actually do the traveling and all that stuff. So you can end up being exhausted after a weekend, which is great. But I'm trying to work on finding a balance because I am more stressed out than I would like to admit. And I know that He created the Sabbath to help with that. So I need to tap into that. Yeah. How are you with resting? What do you like to do on the weekends? Oh, that's nice. That's really fun. By yourself or with someone else? That's really cool. Maybe I'll join you sometime. Yeah. Okay. The Passover and unleavened bread. These are the feasts of the Lord, holy convocations, which you shall proclaim at their appointed times. On the 14th day of the first month at twilight is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread to the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it, but you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord for 7 days. The 7th day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. I did, I think I told you, I did a Passover with my boyfriend in April, and it was one of the best things I've ever done, truthfully. I've been wanting to do a Passover for years, and just didn't have anyone to do it with. And so it was really nice. We went camping, and I made unleavened bread, and we had grape juice, and I have that book about the feasts, and it kind of talked a little bit more about the Passover, so we read that and prayed, and we read the scriptures about the Exodus from Egypt, and we ate the food like in the order that it said to eat it in the book, and it was really beautiful and really nice, and I definitely would be doing that again. You can join us if you'd like. Yeah, the more the merrier. It's really fun. Okay. The Feast of First Fruits. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land which I give to you, and reap its harvest, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest to the priest. You shall weave the sheaf before the Lord, to be accepted on your behalf. On the day after the Sabbath, the priest shall weave it. And you shall offer on that day, when you weave the sheaf, a male lamb of the first year without blemish, as a burnt offering to the Lord. Its grain offering shall be 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil, an offering made by fire to the Lord for a sweet aroma, and its drink offering shall be of wine, 1/4 of a hin. You shall eat neither bread nor parched grain nor fresh grain until the same day that you have brought an offering to your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. The Feast of Weeks. And you shall count for yourselves from the day after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the weave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be completed. Count 50 days to the day after the 7th Sabbath. Then you shall offer a new grain offering to the Lord. You shall bring from your dwellings 2 weave loaves of 2/10 of an ephah. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are the first fruits of the Lord. And you shall offer with the bread 7 lambs of the first year without blemish, 1 young bull and 2 rams. They shall be as a burnt offering to the Lord, with their grain offering and their drink offerings, an offering made by fire for a sweet aroma to the Lord. Then you shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and 2 male lambs of the first year as a sacrifice of a peace offering. The priest shall weave them with the bread of the first fruits as a wave. Oh my gosh, have I been saying weave offering this whole time? I'm so sorry. It was a wave offering. That makes so much more sense. Anyways, wave offering. Okay, the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits as a wave offering before the Lord with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy to the Lord for the priest. And you shall proclaim on the same day that it is a holy convocation to you. You shall do no customary work on it. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field. When you reap, nor shall you gather any gleaning from your harvest. You shall leave them for the poor and for the stranger. I am the Lord your God. The Feast of Trumpets. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath rest, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. I wonder, I always thought it'd be cool to grow up like a Messianic Jew, because then you get all the, I don't know what all of these festivals and feasts they do, but then it'd be so cool because you'd have like a better understanding of the Old Testament. I feel like Christians focus so much on the New Testament, which is great, but we kind of don't really pay that much attention to the Old Testament. We're kind of viewed as irrelevant, I guess, like outdated. But feasts like this, I mean, obviously we wouldn't make offerings anymore, but you have to think about it, like, he made these holidays. Like, God made these holidays, and we don't celebrate them, and that's kind of sad. The Feast of Trumpets. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath rest, a memorial. Oh my gosh, I already read this. Never mind. Okay, Feast of Trumpets. Following trumpets. I don't have a trumpet though, and I don't know how to play one, so maybe we won't do that feast. The Day of Atonement. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Also the 10th day of this 7th month shall be the Day of Atonement. It shall be a holy convocation for you. You shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. You shall afflict your souls. What do you think that means? I don't know. And you shall do no work on that same day, for it is the Day of Atonement, to make atonement for you before the Lord your God. For any person who is not afflicted in soul on that same day shall be cut off from his people. That's kind of crazy. And any person who does any work on that same day, that person I will destroy from among his people. That's interesting. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be to you a Sabbath of solemn rest, and you shall afflict your souls. On the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening to evening, you shall celebrate your Sabbath, the Day of Atonement. I guess they are supposed to like be solemn because of their sin, and that's why they afflict their souls, I guess. That would make sense to me. The Feast of Tabernacles. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles, for 7 days to the Lord. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. For 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. On the 8th day you shall have a holy convocation, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. It is a sacred assembly, and you shall do no customary work on it. These are the feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire to the Lord, a burnt offering and a grain offering, a sacrifice and drink offering, everything on its day. Besides the Sabbaths of the Lord, besides your gifts, besides all your vows, and besides all your freewill offerings, which you will give to the Lord. Also on the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, you shall keep the feast of the Lord for 7 days. On the first day there shall be a Sabbath rest, and on the 8th day a Sabbath rest. And you shall take for yourselves on the first day the fruit of beautiful trees, branches of palm trees, the boughs of leafy trees, and willows of the brook. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. You shall keep it as a feast to the Lord for 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. You shall dwell in booths for 7 days. All who are native Israelites shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses declared to the children of Israel the feasts of the Lord. So that was Leviticus 23. I do always think it's interesting to go back through the Old Testament books and just think about it and learn from them. And it's cool to think about, like, that's the Bible that Jesus read when he was growing up. And those are the stories that he was taught. And that's kind of crazy. He only had half the Bible, and then he was the other half. Okay. And now, we go to Psalms, chapter 5. A prayer for guidance. To the chief musician with flutes, a psalm of David. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my meditation. Give heed to the voice of my cry, my King and my God. For to you I will pray. My voice you shall hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning I will direct it to you, and I will look up. For you are not a God who takes pleasure in wickedness, nor shall evil dwell with you. The boastful shall not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. You shall destroy those who speak falsehood. The Lord abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into your house in the multitude of your mercy. In fear of you, I will worship toward your holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make your way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is destruction. Their throat is an open tomb. They flatter with their tongue. Pronounce them guilty, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against you. But let all those rejoice who put their trust in you. Let them ever shout for joy, because you defend them. Let those also who love your name be joyful in you. For you, O Lord, will bless the righteous. With favor you will surround him as with a shield. That one was very nice. I like that one. I like the verse that stuck out to me the most was verse 3. My voice you shall hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning I will direct it to you, and I will look up. That's just nice. It's like when he wakes up, the first thing he does in his day as he makes sure the Lord hears his voice. And he's sure of it. You can tell. You shall hear my voice in the morning, O Lord. In the morning, I will direct it to you, and I will look up. That's just nice. It's so hopeful. Wow. That was lovely. Do you have any thoughts about it? Wow. If you think of any, please let me know. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, or what encouraged you, or piqued your interest at all. Yeah. Well, I suppose we should get to sleep. Yeah, I'm not that tired either. But maybe we can cuddle up under the covers and then just hang out and talk. Okay. You want to pray first, maybe? Okay, I'll pray. Here. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for your word that we get to learn from and gain wisdom and understanding from. Lord, I pray that my friend and I continue to grow in your wisdom and in truth, that we never lose our passion for searching your word, and that we never stop learning from you. And God, I thank you for the delight that your word is. Help us to be like the psalmist who wakes up every morning and speaks to you and looks to you, Lord. Thank you for your peace, for your guidance, for your rest. Show us what you would have us do, Lord, to best glorify you and bring honor to your name. And please help us sleep peacefully tonight and have sweet dreams and wake up refreshed in the morning and ready for a new day. Thank you for your provision. Thank you for your protection. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. All right. Wow. Shall we go sleep?